I am super excited to be here today, living this life, doing these things. Oh my gosh, all of them so wild and strange. I have no understanding of why I feel impelled. And why it is my thoughts go to the places where they go, and my feelings follow so quickly and easily. And sometimes my feelings get there first and my thinks get there soon after. And the fun thing is this commitment to living in alignment, body, mind, and spirit, this commitment to being here in this purpose, in this being, in this time, is whew, interesting. It's so interesting. Oh my gosh. And it's funny, we all do this. I am often distracted by my thoughts, and I don't always know there's a new chat button. I don't want to see what all these chats. I don't actually want to talk to you. But not that I'm expecting any of you to come here. But it won't let me close that thing. Anyway, so I'm gonna have to put a little sign on it. There's just too much information for this poor little brain to there's nothing poor about my brain. It is actually genius level. And even that's even after all of the freaking head injuries I've experienced, the concussions, the freaking brain bleed that I had a few years ago. I am beyond fortunate to be alive and to still have a working brain. Way beyond fortunate. And yes, I love you all. It is not going to make me start wearing a helmet. I did agree to go slow. I'll walk more as I get older. Ooh, and maybe I will get one of those little pedal cars, and it'll be like an all-around helmet. Who knows exactly what it's going to look like? But I do know that I understand why people wear helmets, and it's not up to me whether or not you understand why I don't. So, and it's not because I don't love you, because I do. I think we're all pretty amazing. And today, what I was thinking about, just when I decided I was going to go ahead and push that button and go live on YouTube, I was like, well, you have not pushed the button so many other times. And I really do need to say something about standards, our standards and our expectations. Obviously, expectations will get us nowhere except for disappointed. And I have a lot of learning to do around that. And that's okay with me. I don't mind learning. I'm going to eat peanut butter today because peanut butter, banana, and chocolate sounds like exactly the right thing. I won't be eating it in front of you, but I will be stirring it because I have let the oil and the nuts separate, the oil separate from the nuts, so that it would be warm enough and easy for me to move. But anyway, that's way more information than you needed when I'm talking about how I'm feeling about standards and expectations. Not that you really need to know how I feel about standards and expectations. I do believe that the world would benefit if we all raised our standards to humane, considerate, thoughtful, aware, oh, myself included. Oh my gosh, I do not know how many times I find myself sounding ignorant or, really actually saying something that I didn't know. Well, far less. I maybe used to talk outside my face, and I used to make shit up all the time. I don't have to make shit up anymore. My life has been completely insane the entire time. That is true. I used to make up that I was different, or that I had more, that it was safer or more fun, or, that I was more interesting. But the reality is, like, I'm actually really interesting all by myself. And it has been an interesting journey. And, like, um, and I don't really like know why I mean, I do. I do. I don't know why we continue to accept these stories that we're fed. And I do understand that it took me what it took me to get through to this place where I'm like, oh my gosh, I cannot believe. But at the same time, I also remember that the entire time that I was getting to this place, I never fucking understood how it is that you all accepted this way of being, this status quo. Oh, it's always been this way. I've never freaking gotten it. It does not make any sense to me. We have accepted this collectively. I am a part of this we. I understand that. What I do not understand is how it is that all of us who are super incensed and super understand that we are responsible for this, how it is that, oh, we're supposed to get from here to there. Like, what's that next place? How do I get from knowing what needs to be done to having a big enough group of people doing it? Because for me, like, from my laptop in this healing space that I have created, that is really a beautiful and chaotic process, and an interesting exploration of humanity in general. Like, I do not know how to get from here to there. So I'm willing to listen, I'm willing to ask, I'm willing to be guided, and it is what I continue to invite and allow, and really truly what I truly accept. I do have so many things that I get to observe, because I do have to observe reality, and I accept that this is how things are going. I just don't necessarily accept that these ways are the ways that we have to move forward. I don't think that this is how it has to be. I don't think any part of this is how it has to be. I believe that we are capable of so much more than this. I believe that when we put our minds together, well, look at what we have done so far, putting our minds together. Look at what we have done so far, putting our minds together. And I know I'm not the only one who is out here saying this. What if we put our minds together towards something far more constructive, far more creative, far more loving, far more beautiful, and far more available to all of us? Guess what? You live on Earth. Have you ever seen a place this freaking beautiful? No, because you've never been anywhere else. Even if you've been to the moon, you've never really been anywhere else, because the moon and the stars, it's all just a part of one thing, and you may have gotten to walk on the moon and gotten to see that really great view. You're still an earthling. You're still from Earth. You're still a part of this beautiful thing that we get to be a part of. And if you want to use your imagination in the ways of, let's get us to the moon, go ahead and get yourself to the fucking moon. I don't care. Just don't fucking rape my planet to do it. Stop stealing from the people who live on this planet. Stop taking all of the resources, because there are easier ways, there are better ways, there are faster ways, there are more effective and more efficient ways to do all of this shit. And you've had your experiment, you've had your fun. Now put the toys down, wash your hands, and let's get to work with cleaning up this mess. That's how I feel about it. I mean, that's really how I feel about it. I didn't get to have a childhood because of this mindset. My children, my grandchildren, I don't feel like they've gotten to have a childhood because of this mindset, because of this way that things have been going. And it is really lovely that there are plenty of people out here who are doing their best to return to the earth, do whatever. You know what? Get the fucking mindset and look at it and see all of the ways that it continues to separate you from reality. We are here to celebrate and enjoy being alive. We are not here to hurt other people, to steal from other people, to make sure that you have enough and not worry about everyone else. Because guess what? If everyone has enough, then you're going to be fine. I promise. And there's plenty. There's plenty for all of us. This mindset has got to change. And I do not have the answer. I work on it every day. I work on finding how my mindset needs to change. I work on reflecting on the things that I have observed. I work on knowing what it is that the earth is saying to me. And the earth is saying, like, she's going to be fine. It's going to be just fine. Anything that we choose to do is purely for selfish reasons, honest, If we wanted to be a part of the earth, if we wanted to be what we are, we would be. Believe me, it's not really that hard. And we can have all of this fucking junk that we made too. We don't have to have the junky junk. I don't know how many of you have heard the statistic that 99% of the shit that you buy today is going to be in a landfill in 6 months. But think about it. I try not to buy things that are going to be in the landfill tomorrow or in 6 months. And most of my shit is not going to be in the landfill in 6 months. And even things that could go to the landfill, I try to find some way to use them. Because guess what? No matter where you put it, there it is. It's still gonna be there. So these are just a couple of the rants and thoughts that I have today. And I'm going to continue to come back as often as I can convince myself that I have something to say, which I really know that none of us really has anything to say. We're all just beautiful beings, creatures of creation. And it's an interesting journey, isn't it? These are just some of my observations. And I love you all. We are going to get through this.